Okay, wait. If you still aren't treating this like it's a business, if you still are kind of acting like Uber and Lyft are gonna pay us better just because they should, if you are still have this mindset that, all we have to do is unite, let's unite against them. We're gonna unite and they're gonna they're gonna they're gonna pay us better and they're gonna give us benefits because yeah, they should give us benefits. And yeah, I don't know. If you still have that mindset, it's 2025. Can we stop with that? Can we just understand that that's not the case? That's not gonna be the case. It's just not. Um, if you're not treating this like your own business, then that's unfortunate. If you're not running these apps like you are in business, because you are according to the IRS, but if you're not running this as a business owner, at this point, uh, I think you like running at a loss. Uh, I think you intentionally are trying to sabotage yourself. Because it's 2025. These gig apps have been around for a while. In my case, I've been doing Uber for the last 5 years. Now, when I first started doing it, as you can hear all of the noise from the cars, when I first started doing it, yeah, it was beautiful. It was amazing. I was looking at it as an opportunity to make money. Um, but I wasn't confused, I guess. I wasn't confused because I knew that that was still, maybe not that one specifically, but I knew that I was still using my car. So I was still taking my car to get the maintenance and servicing it and all of that stuff. So I wasn't confused that that wasn't Uber's car. I wasn't confused in the sense of like, because I still had to pay the tolls. If I got a fine, I still had to pay the fine. Like, I wasn't confused. Like, all of the money that I made, I knew I had to put aside a certain amount for gas, had to put aside a certain amount for taxes, obviously. I had to put aside a certain amount for maintenance, keep some money in the car just in case for the emergencies. I wasn't confused. But a lot of y'all that kind of do this nowadays, I think you guys are. It's weird because it's like maybe you don't take your vehicle to get serviced that often. Yeah. Maybe you're not a person that maybe you don't really get oil changes or things like that. So I can understand that. You know, I can understand if you don't really do the service, if you don't follow the service intervals, if you're not used to getting the oil change. It really, you're supposed to get an oil change every what, 3 to 5,000 miles. And now I'm not talking about, the people that do them on your own. I'm talking about generally it's like 3 to 5,000 miles, right? Oil changes. Usually it's like 3 to 5,000 miles. uh, you're supposed to do your brakes. I can't remember the interval for your brakes. I think it's like 5 to 10,000 miles. Something like that. Yeah, I know brakes go bad. I don't really remember how long. I would just listen for the screech. That was the brakes. I didn't know. I didn't know the interval. I would just wait for the screech. That part, I'll be honest. I waited for the screech with the brakes because I was always in the shop. So I was like, listen, the brakes I could take my time on. You when you know how to drive, you get, and this isn't necessarily a great thing. Like, I know how to drive when the brakes are a little bit low. I'm not saying like when they really bad, but you just I kind of know how to drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I could take a couple minutes, take a couple more days, build up some money so I could have the money to do the maintenance, to fix the brakes, whatever. So I could drive. I could make it work. I could make it work for another couple days. But you know, I wasn't confused. I wasn't confused that, I was paying for that cost. When I went in there, when I took the car to the shop, that was me on the line. Yeah, they wasn't saying, "Oh, are you an Uber driver?" Okay, yeah, we'll just bill it to Uber. They were saying, "Okay, yeah, Nick, yeah, okay, cool. So Nick, yeah, it looks like you need some brakes. That's gonna be 350 at Jiffy Lube. Yeah, it's gonna be 350 for the front, 350 for the back, if you go on a Jiffy Lube." Yeah, I was never confused about that part. That was me. I had to pay that. That was my name on the line. I wasn't confused about like if the car broke down. I had to get that car towed. I had to get it towed and then figure it out and store it somewhere because yeah, it's your vehicle. So if my car ever broke down, it was over. It gotta go. It gotta go somewhere. Gotta go somewhere. Definitely gotta go somewhere. I was never confused, but it's funny because I see a lot of people, and it's like a lot of people are confused. A lot of people think that Uber is more than what they are. When you do these gig apps, I know you guys are proud of Uber. I know you're proud to say that you're, a DoorDasher or, an Amazon person, Amazon Flex, Instacarter. But don't forget that this is still your business. You are still on the line. You are still on the hook. And just as quickly as you were let onto the platform, and it was a glorious day, oh my gosh, it happened out of nowhere, they approved me, yay, they can deactivate you just as quickly, even quicker. All you do is you just wake up, you hit the little button to go online, and it just shows red. That's it. It just shows red. Red. And it's like, really? Red? What happened? What did I do? And it's like, yep. Just that quick. Just as quick as you got on the platform, they can take you off the platform even quicker. And it's like, you don't have, once you're off, like in my case with Amazon, there's no getting back on. There is no, oh yeah, I just called customer support and I'm just going to explain the situation to them. No. Oh, I'm just gonna write this letter and they should figure it out and they'll put me back on the no. Once you're deactivated, it's over. It's over. There is no like, it's just over. It's that's it. Nobody cares. There's no support team. There's nobody that's really gonna help you because that's it. But that's the reason why I'm stressing that it's your business. So can you imagine if it's you get messed up? You're at a negative. You're not really operating the right way. You're not paying attention to your expenses. You don't have the maintenance fund. You don't have the emergency fund. You don't have anything. You're not putting money aside. And then something hurts. Something breaks down. You break down on the side of the road. It's just not a fun experience. Not a fun experience. I could tell you because I've been there. I've been there, I've been there, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. But it's happened, to me at least. When you don't know, it's yeah, you have to learn. So for me, I have to learn the hard way. That is the way that I learn. Unfortunately, unfortunately slash fortunately. So I remember I had my car break down a couple times, but I used to use my personal car, and I would use my personal car, and I used to be like, whatever, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna make it happen. So yeah, I took my personal car. I took a long ride. We got up. Let's say, I want to say it was to Jacksonville. So I took a ride from Miami to Jacksonville. I want to say Jacksonville, I can't remember the mileage. I want to say it was like 200 miles. The problem was when I took the trip, before I took the trip, I needed an oil change. I needed an oil change. I was low on oil. I needed an oil change, but I took the trip because it was money. Yeah, let's just say once I completed that trip, I got them all the way up there, and that light came on. And it was like, oh. And the light came on, and it was Sunday night. Yeah. It was Sunday night. You know, I wanted to get back home. I'm like, yo, I'm way up here in Jacksonville. I don't know nobody up here. Obviously, I wasn't going to tow the vehicle back home because that's what, 2-3 hours, whatever. No, not going to happen. That's a crazy expensive tow. Not going to happen. Right? So I decided to drive it back. I was like, whatever. I'm going to drive it back. It is what it is. Like I told you, I really needed an oil change before I took the trip. So yeah, unfortunately, that engine light was already on. That oil change light, check oil, it was already on. And yeah, I got mostly there. And I started noticing some things. That caused me to like kind of, just pull over, Yeah, I started seeing, a little smoke coming out of the car. It's just, I started hearing noises coming from the front hood. Like, it was just, I started hearing some things. And my mom was like, I'm close. I could make it. But I ain't gonna chance it. So the one good thing is, I will tell you the one good thing. The one good thing is back then I used to be a diamond driver or whatever the case is. And yeah, I use Uber's towing service to kind of get my car home. Well, get my car to a mechanic. Because I pulled over, I was like, look, okay, I'm hearing these noises. It's probably not safe to keep driving this car. I'm hearing, I'm seeing a little smoke. I could tell something's wrong. So I got the car towed to a mechanic. And I remember that next day, the guy was like, yo, this is one of those moments where it's like, you learn real quick. I was young and dumb, whatever. He was like, yo, so you want the good news or the bad news? I was like, well, when you ask me that type of question, I'm going to say the bad news. I mean, I want the bad news first. Give me some bad news. He's like, yeah, the bad news is you ran low on oil. You almost broke your engine. Because, when you don't have no oil, all of the components need to be lubricated. And so if you don't have any lubrication, it's just metal on metal grinding and all of that stuff. So it's really bad for the engine, really bad. He was like, that was the bad news. And if you would have broke your engine, it would have probably been, you would have had to replace this engine. The good news was it didn't do that much damage. So I was able to continue driving my car. I probably got like another 50,000 miles, 100,000 miles before I got into the accident. So yeah, it was like, I still had some wiggle room on the car because I caught it. I pulled over in time, but I came real close to messing up that engine. And it was all because I wasn't prepared. 2, because I wasn't running it like a business. If you're running this, when I say run this like a business, I mean every business knows their costs. The expense to do business. So that's you're talking about a storefront. They know how much it costs to get inventory. They know how much it costs to operate their business every day. As an Uber driver, you should know your costs. You should know how much it costs you to operate your business. You should know how much it costs you every week. You should know things like gas. In my case, it's charging, but you should know how much you pay on gas every week and have that money set aside. Okay, this is how much I usually spend $100 a week on gas. So I have $100 a week set aside for gas. That way you're not stressing over getting, filling up your gas tank, vice versa. You should know, hey, okay, I got this $100 set aside. You should also have that emergency savings just in case something happens, because something will happen. You may get a flat tire, you may get a blown out tire like I've had, because I rent my vehicles and a lot of times they don't care about the tires. So I've had blown out tires, but you may just have a flat tire. Again, you still got to have money, because a lot of these tire places, they like cash. Just is what it is. If you got cash, you can get in and out. You don't, sometimes, then they want to charge you the little extra fee for their taxes. So, you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean by running it as a business. If you run this like a business, you're prepared for all of these different situations. Then you can start focusing on profit. But yeah, with that being said, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I just thought it was crazy that people still don't think this is a business and still are not operating like it. So I hope you're not one of those people. Hey, but other than that, man, real quick, the link is in the description. If you are not a part of the Telegram community, why not? Get you some coworkers. Talk. Join the group. All you gotta do is download the app Telegram and hit the link in the description. We are a rideshare community. We're growing. We help each other. We learning new strategies. Hit the link in the description. If you got any questions, any comments, leave them down below. And lastly, man, I just want to say I love you. I appreciate you. Deuces.